Okay, everybody. Today, I want to walk you through one of my favorite protocols. It's called Kyber Swap. All right. Today, we're going to do a little screen recording. I'm going to show you how I like to use it, what it's good for, and what not to do, because sometimes that's even more important than what to do. Kyber Swap's real simple. Before we get into how it works, let me tell you what it is. Kyber Swap here is a place where you can go and it aggregates all kinds of different places. Sushi Swap, Uniswap, P&S modules, every place you can think of to trade probably, it has it all in one place. And it makes the most efficient route it can for doing your transaction. Say I'm over here and I want to trade some DAI for wrapped ether, all right? What I can do is, I can be like, yeah, I'll trade 100,000 of my DAI for wrapped ether. And what it does is, it'll be like, hey, at the current market cap, as you can see right here, all right, your DAI is worth, you know, 99,900 and whatever, basically $100,000 because I put it in 100,000 DAI. And that's worth, you know, 28.99 wrapped ether, okay? And that's currently worth, you know, $100,000. Ooh, this is actually interesting. I might be able to make a couple bucks off this trade if I did it, all right? And it'll come down here and it'll tell me the rate, all right? As you can see, one DAI equals 0.000, basically non-wrapped ether, all right? And it'll tell you the minimum you'll receive if you do this transaction. Hey, you're guaranteed to get at least 28.99, you know, wrapped Ethereum. Sometimes you'll get drastically more than the minimum though. That's just absolutely what you're going to get. And as you might have just seen now, the number changed. Every so often it'll change. Basically every 13 seconds, because that's how long it takes for a block to happen on Ethereum. I've got it set up on the Ethereum network right now. It'll update the prices. And it'll also tell you down here, as you see, the price impact. Now, this is such a small transaction. I mean, $100,000 is absolutely nothing. It'll have basically zero price impact. And so that's what you want to see. You don't want to see a huge price impact, because if you're buying, it drastically increases what you're going to pay. And if you're selling it and reducing the price. So you're selling some of it for less, which, you know, you don't want to do either way. So really, really low price impact is always ideal. Okay, a little bit of price impact, you know, maybe 1%, totally fine. But if you start seeing 10, 20, 30% price impact, maybe see if you can find a different way to do that trade. Maybe don't do it in such a big size. It's probably not the thing you want to do unless you've just got a really, really, really good, you know, reason for doing it. And now down here, you can scroll down and you see how it says your trade route. All right, this is really, really neat. It shows you how your trade is going to be executed. So for this example, my 100,000 DAI would go, it would be swapped out for USDT. It would be done through the Curve stable plain pool, all right? And 100% of it would be routed that way. Then it would swap the USDT it just swapped for through the Dodo Classic, okay? And then it would swap that USDC it just swapped for wrapped ETH through the Kyber Swap PMM, all right? And that's how I would get that price. And it checks the whole market to see what is the best price you can get. And apparently right now, for that order right there, that would be the best price. But what if I wanted to do a big order, okay? What if I wanted to take $99 million worth, basically 100 million actually, in DAI, and I wanted to buy all that in wrapped ether? I know, that's a lot. That's a huge thing. See the price impact? Bam, we're at 3% right now, okay? I probably shouldn't do it. I don't want to move the market too much. But we come down here and you see, whoa, there is a ton of different things that are happening here. So 55% of my order is going through USDC, through the peg stability module. Then it's being swapped in Uniswap for wrapped ether. 35% of my order is going through two different curve pools for USDT. Then that's getting swapped for wrapped ether. If you tried to keep track of all this on your own, I mean, we even got it going through Bitcoin here and then into Ether just to get my order done. This would drive you mad, okay? You don't want to do this. You can't do this because the prices will update before you will actually be able to check all this and figure out what's the best routing. So when you start doing bigger and bigger orders, you have to use an aggregator like this. Otherwise, you're missing out on money. But something very, very important to keep in mind is you need to protect yourself. So they have Mev Protection, as you can see. And they've got a couple different kinds, and for exactly which one you want to use is up to you. Look into it a little bit more. It's kind of dependent on your needs. But what is Mev Protection? Okay, so MEV is maximum extractable value. Basically, the people who are validating on Ethereum and various other chains, they're going to go out there and they're going to see how they can get more value out of the system. So maybe they'll front run your order or a whole bunch of other things. I think we actually have a video talking about this in our All Ethereum video. Go check it out for more in-depth explanation. But they have Mev Protection, which can help you not get affected by whatever these people might want to do. Now, you also can do over here a limit order. So instead of doing a swap that happens immediately as soon as you execute it, as soon as the transaction is accepted, of course, you can come over here and you can do a limit order. So maybe I want to buy this wrapped ETH at, for this amount, but I don't want any slippage. So what you can do is you can say, hey, whenever it's at this price, fill this order, as much of it as you can fill. And this is a great way to get orders done over a period of time at the price you want, because you know what price it's going to be executed on. And if you don't actually get your order filled, in a reasonable amount of time, you can always just cancel it. I enjoy using their system a whole lot. It's been quite helpful for me. Sometimes I'll put a low ball offer on something, and then eventually it'll get filled. And it's like, cool. I didn't actually think that would get filled, or maybe it was kind of a little dicey if that would get filled. But great, I'm glad I got it. I'm glad I didn't spend an extra 5% to get it just right then and there, because sometimes it's worth it to wait a minute and save some money. I mean, saving money is money earned, basically. All right, now down here you're going to see the approve and review order. Every time you're going to have to do a transaction in here for a new asset, or whenever you're doing a limit order, you're going to have to do what's called approve the asset. So you would click this, you'd be like, bam, approve that. And then it'll pop up your wallet and you'll go in there and you'll hit approve transaction. All right, real simple. You just got to make sure to do it. And sometimes that'll fail. That's fine. Just come back and hit it again. And as soon as you do that, then you have given Kyberswap the ability to place the order that you're doing, because everything here is decentralized, and so the contract needs permission to approve it. Now, after you approve it, you hit over here, review order. It'll pop up the, thing of your order, and swipe, and bam, you're good to go. And the same thing over here, if you're doing a normal swap, you tell it, hey, approve the new asset. If it's the first time you've used it, then tell it to go off and do what you're doing. Now, you can also check on your wallet from here. It shows a whole bunch of different assets you have here, almost everything you've got loaded up in your thing. And no, I want to, let me clarify. There is zero bone, there's no baby Doge. Despite what you're seeing, these are assets that have been loaded. It does not show your, any asset that you have in the thing, any imported assets that your wallet might have. That doesn't mean you have those assets in your wallet, okay? Up here, your total balance, that's what you have in your wallet. As you can see, all these garbage, well, okay, meth is totally great, but that's METH, by the way. That's not meth, okay? I'm not Walter White, as far as you know. But like, I have no bone, I have no baby Doge. Please, nobody say that I have any of those. And if you're wondering why I don't have any convex in this wallet, it's because I've got it all locked up voting in convex, obviously. But anyway, yeah, and all my stable coins are usually put into various places. Yeah, you can see I only have 40 cents in USDT left. But anyway, so don't spread rumors that I have a ton of garbage, tokens in here. It's just not true, okay? Don't think I have tons of spell in here either. If I did have spell massively, it would be locked up earning, the 10% or whatever they offer on that. Don't go spreading rumors. A lot of this is just dust I got left over from convex rewards that, like, whoops, didn't sell it or spend it somewhere. So don't be, probably shouldn't keep showing my wallet balance. Whoopsie. Anyway, not that you guys would be able to do anything against that anyway, but best if you don't know. So that's your little introductory thing to Kyberswap. Now, is there an advanced way you can use it? Absolutely. If you go over here and push this button in the top right with the 3 widgets or whatever, you can change a whole bunch of different little things. All right, so you might see over here the max slippage. This you probably shouldn't play with, honestly, because slippage is how much you're willing to basically lose on a trade in order to get it done. Now, almost all good assets, you know, your stable coins or your quality, you know, blue chip type cryptos and stuff, they're probably going to be able to get done in, you know, 1% at the maximum. I like 0.01%, but, you know, I'm a little bit of a stickler for making sure I get the price I want. But if you ever have to go above 1%, you're trading something you shouldn't. You're probably trading a meme coin or some other garbage. Don't do it. Now, the time limit here is important, okay? You can change it to all kinds of different things. I like 20 minutes. 20 minutes is great. If it doesn't get done in 20 minutes, you probably need to change your order, or it's something that's just not going to happen anytime soon. Now, there's degen mode right here, as you can see. This, you got to enable in order to make your slippage up here go into stuff you really shouldn't be touching anyway, okay? So don't use it, okay? Seriously, there's no legitimate reason for you to be using that. Now, you can see over here the liquidity sources, how there's a bunch of them, there's 56 of them. What are these, okay? As you look through them, you're going to notice a whole bunch of dexes that, you know, you might use in your average day-to-day, you know, crypto endeavors. All of these are just places that it has an integration with, so it can go out there, check its price, and interact with it, and do the thing you want. And say you don't want it to be routed through certain ones of these, you can just be like, oh, Kyber Swap? That's garbage. I'm not touching them, or something. And just check the box, or uncheck it, and there you go. You turn it on, turn it off, super easy. All right, and they got a whole bunch of different things, and they're adding new ones all the time. So, and as a nice little convenient feature, if you're looking for a particular one to turn on or off, bam, just search for it right there in the bar. Now, there's also the ability to turn off the trade route. I guess you might want to do that. I personally am a bit of a stats nerd, so I want to see everything. And something interesting you can do, say you want to come down here and look at a particular one. Ooh, what's that curve pool? You can click on it, and it'll bring up the Etherscan contract. And so you can look at, oh, look, here's the tokens that are in this. Oh, gosh, fee, really? Huh, okay. Anyway, and you can get all kinds of information about here and even see previous transactions and all kinds of stuff. All right? So, just a wealth of information. I don't know why you would ever want to turn it off, but, I mean, I guess it would make your screen slightly less cluttered. Seriously, though, why would you? And you can also hit this right here, the little information tab, and it'll tell you more information about the market, where it's getting its info from. It's getting it, by the way, from CoinGecko, like most things. Side note, that's also where MetaMask gets its pricing data from as well. And, you know, it'll tell you, hey, look, the price of DAI here is $1. The market cap is, you know, it's the 25th biggest. Cool. Let's see if that holds for too terribly much longer. There's its trading volume. Don't worry too much about the trading volume. That changes all the time and sometimes isn't super accurate, but whatever. You can also come in here and see the security info for the particular asset. So you can see if it's a risky asset or if it's got other weird things, if it's got a buying tax, a selling tax. We are not big fans of buying and selling taxes here, but in very, very select circumstances, they can be okay. You can make sure it's not a honeypot. That's a big deal. People should really check this before they're buying garbage tokens. I mean, they shouldn't buy them in the first place, but if you're buying them, please at the very least check it out. You can see, oh, does it have a blacklist function? Hey, look, no blacklist function. I wish you could go to a bunch of other stablecoins like Circle and their USDC and Tether and be like, oh, no, a blacklist function. But no, sadly, they all have it turned on. Just another reason why you got to absolutely love decentralized stablecoins like DM and DAI here. And then, you know, anti-whale mechanisms and, you know, modifying. There's all kinds of different things. Contract security. Oh, no. There's a contract security issue with DAI. Let me see if I can check that out and get some more info. Huh. Well, I guess not. I'll have to check into that myself. Oh, it's got a mint function. False alarm. It turns out everything just about that's in the stablecoin space has a mint function because it's got to mint new ones. That's perfectly fine. That's not an actual issue. It's open source, cool. Doesn't have to be, but that's good that it is. It's not a proxy contract. That's not always a problem, depending on how it's built. Like, it could be fine. Take back ownership, though, that's a problem. So, like, cool, got to make sure that's a no. Can change balance? Oh, I don't like that. Self-destruct? You can't play with things that can self-destruct. External call? Cool. Sometimes that can be justified. But a mint function's not a problem. Almost everything has a mint function. It's fine. You got to mint the thing in the first place. Like, cool. That's totally fine. And like for a collateralized debt position like them, obviously that's going to work that way. That's how it needs to work. You can also get more info right here, but like, ooh, gosh, it went down to 88 cents. Die. Oof. It's a miracle you haven't died yet. Anyway, don't get me wrong. I absolutely love DAI. And also, if you're interested, you can go down here and get notifications and updates on various things happening in crypto. It's not something I particularly use here, but, you know, it could be your thing. Also, you can come and check out other stuff like the analytics and stuff. And if you really, really are a cheapskate and you want to save on gas costs, you can check into how Kyberswap actually works with its KNC token. Now, I would not recommend using Kyberswap's KNC token, but if you really want to, you can lock up their tokens and you can get more of their tokens equal to up to $200 worth of gas fees that you've used on their platform. It's not something I do, it's not something I recommend, but it is something. There's also various liquidity pools that you can find here. Now, you can go and check out, you can see that I have absolutely no farming pools, and I wouldn't recommend you have any either. And they have various kinds of pools from elastic pools and classic pools. You can deposit stuff in here if you really, really want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because the impermanent loss can be heavy, and there's not any particular rewards that are coming your way that are really good. And Kyberswap actually does a really good job on the aggregator front. So you're not going to actually see a whole lot of like flow through here unless it's the best trade route, which sometimes it is, but oftentimes you'll find Curve or a particular swap between Uniswap or, you know, sometimes even Sushi Swap's better. So I certainly can't recommend putting anything into here. And like, you know, I practice what I preach. Trust me, there is no position I am putting in this thing. You got to incentivize me for that. Personally, I like a good DM stablecoin pool on Curve where some of the emissions are over 100%, but that's just me. Tell me, how do you like to aggregate? And should I do a review on 1inch? Personally, I'm a Kyberswap man, but 1inch is pretty good too. Just a bit of preference, I guess. Anyway, have a good night, be safe, and remember to keep your slippage low.